Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana has still continued or is still continuing with this uptrend, this local uptrend that we've been tracking here since the low in August. The microstructures haven't really changed actually since the last update. What I have done, I've introduced a new micro support area in case we get a pullback. There are two now, and that means we can see this as one large support area with different Fibonacci levels that we can watch if there is a pullback, with key support at the moment at $147.74 for an internal fourth wave as highlighted in the yellow scenario there. Quick explanation again, we only want to take a look at the shorter time frame here. We're dealing with a diagonal pattern to the upside, but there are a couple of ways how it can be interpreted. Either we completed a 1-2 setup. I mean, that's the same for both of them. And then in one scenario, which is the yellow one, we are close to completing the third wave. We have an A, B, and the C wave up. Price pushed a little higher today, but we're back below $200. But we came really close to that $208, to that next $208 target. I mean, the price reached nearly 206. So we got very close. That $208 level is, and again, you know, it might be even different on a few exchanges. So I would say we've nearly reached target or have even reached it. There might be some exchanges where we've actually reached it or where the FIBs would look a little bit different. So that's one of the problems in crypto. It's still a little bit like the Wild West. There are slightly different prices on different exchanges. But anyway, you know, we pretty much are where we need to be. In the yellow scenario, the third wave could be nearly done. We're going to zoom in a minute, take a look at the microstructure, that previous micro support or structural support, the key level held today. And anybody who used that level to still look for higher prices certainly participated in a little bit more uptrend. But now we are pretty much back where we started the beginning of the day, just below $200. So we want to talk about that, but that third wave could be nearly done. These FIB levels, as I said, $208, first ideal target for a third wave, next target 229. And then once we start a pullback, definitely this area needs to be watched. It's between $147.74 and $167.53. It will have to be adjusted higher with the price as we climb higher, because the fourth wave support area is calculated based on the length of the third wave. And then from there, we are watching for a fifth wave rally. The more directly bullish scenario indicates that the third wave could extend a bit higher, as highlighted here in green, and we are only close to completing wave 1 of 3. Okay, it's just a slightly different subdivision where that B wave, which presumably bottomed in October, only finished here early in May, in November. And we are moving up in a 5-wave pattern to complete wave C, whereas in the yellow count, wave C is nearly done. Just a slightly different interpretation of the diagonal pattern. Now, there are two support areas, therefore. For the green, more directly bullish scenario, it's the upper support area, which is located between $164.70 and $184.56. I mean, this is important in the short term. If we get a pullback, this area will be tested first. But if we start to see that the price is breaking below $164.70, it is more likely the yellow scenario and that we're in a fourth wave. So it's quite simple. In the green scenario, we shouldn't break below $164.70. In the yellow scenario, we shouldn't break below $147.74. So green, 164.70 is key support, yellow, 147.74. And this key or these levels help us distinguish between the green, more directly bullish scenario, and the yellow one, where we might see a little bit more of a sideways correction. Yeah. Looking at the very short term, I mentioned in my first video today, there are, before we can actually assume, you know, that a top of sorts is in place, that, for example, here wave 2 has started or that wave 4 has started, we would need to see a break of a previous swing low, and that level is still holding. That's the red line I highlighted. Look, the trend is still ongoing. There's no indication of a top until we get at least a break below that 194.40 level. That's a very, I mean, that's the nearest support I can offer structurally. Not so important for Elliott wave, but structurally. Below that, I've got, and that's probably a bit more reliable as a signal, the 185.80 level this swing low from Thursday. I mean, these two need to break in order to say that, okay, most likely at least wave 2 is unfolding. And if we push higher, then I will have to adjust the support area higher. I mean, breaking that first one, I don't think it will have too much of an impact, because this could all still shift and change a little bit, but that would be the first signal that something is changing. That's the update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.